friend. Thanks.
It says just says Keve. You don't want Justin? It says Keve, bro. It says Keve, Jay. I mean, Keve, just.
Man, hell are you two guys doing up here?
I don't know. You want us to leave, Coach?
That cannot be right. 6 for 8.
No, go ahead.
This must be first half.
I definitely started off over 4.
All right, congratulations to the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Oh, man.
We're joined by head coach Mike Young. We have student athletes Keve Aluma, Storm Murphy, and we'll be joined momentarily by Hunter Cattoor. We're going to go ahead and just open it up for questions. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. We're going to start to the right of the room with Mark Berman, or second row, actually. Sorry.
Hey, Coach, we meet again. Congratulations, sir.
You're tough.
Thank you.
My question for you, I mentioned the hot start. Last time I asked you a question in the press conference today, it wasn't just the hot start. You shot 50% for the entire game. You really never let your foot off the gas pedal. What was clicking, both offensively and defensively, specifically, that let you, maintain your energy built out there on the court?
We played good basketball. We were not clicking defensively. And my point at the half was, if you think we can outscore them, you're sadly mistaken. We were much better. I don't think they're shooting the ball great right now. They're averaging 5.5 made threes a game. So we really wanted to shrink it in the second half. I couldn't convince them of that during the media timeouts of the first half, where they only made 2. But we had a couple of poor closeouts to guys that we didn't think were going to make that particular shot this night. Now, it looked like a video game through the first media. I think it was 15-14. We couldn't stop them. They couldn't stop us. But a much better second half. Got our feet on the ground defensively, but continued to play good basketball, on the offensive end of the floor.
We're going to go to Mark Berman on the right of the room.
Congratulations, guys. For everybody, when Charlie Moore hit that shot in late January, you were in last place at 2-7 in the league. And now here you are making Virginia Tech history as the first ACC champions in school history. What does it mean to have achieved this milestone, considering where you were in late January?
Keve, can you start us off, and then Storm?
Oh, you said me?
Go ahead.
I mean, it means everything. I don't think a lot of people thought that we would do this or even end up with a positive record. But, it means everything. I think it just shows that this team was resilient and that we fight.
Yeah, I think, as we're 2-7 and losing games we're not expecting to lose, that weight, that burden, that doubt, creeps in. And that's tough. It's tough to have that. It was like we were talking about in those moments. It was a dark place. We didn't want to be there. We didn't expect to be there. But the resilience of this team and the belief never wavered. I think we had more belief in those moments, even than we did in the summer and the preseason with all the expectation. And so when it really got real, we pushed through and continued to grind and have fun. And now here we are.
Maybe it speaks to you guys relax. Had a friend of mine, really good friend. He's an excellent writer. We got our doors blown off against Wake Forest. It was fair. He was right. We weren't very good. Air was the headline. Maybe this Virginia Tech team isn't very good. Come on, man. It's a long year. We weren't playing very well. I hope we get the ship righted. Start throwing those blades in December in the college basketball season. I think that's a bit much.
We're going to go to the right of the room to David on the front row.
Yeah, Mike right here. You talked when you first got hired about watching games in Castle Coliseum to win an ACC championship with Virginia Tech. What does it mean to you?
It's really a special thing for our basketball team. David, this is a special thing for Blacksburg, for Southwest Virginia, where I'm from, where I grew up, for the state of Virginia, for our unbelievable Hokie fan base. They'll always remember this team and what they've accomplished. I'll tell you something else. Holy cow. I don't watch the prognosticators, bracketologists. I'm thinking we get to the ACC final, maybe we lose this game. Holy cow, we got to be in the tournament, aren't we? We are now. So, to heck with that stuff. Our name will be called tomorrow, and we'll be excited to wherever we may go.
We're going to go to Gene on the front row.
Storm, can you kind of give us an idea what it's like when you're playing next to Hunter and he's hitting everything he's throwing up there? I mean, how aware are you of it, and what do you say to him in the huddle, or how do you talk to him at all, just to keep him in the zone?
Yeah, my goodness, it's like just sitting on the couch watching TV. I mean, he's just not missing a thing. We want him to just get every shot up. When he's hot like that, we saw that at Florida State, and yeah, we're talking to him about continuing to just shoot it. And I think the really, really cool thing about Hunt is over the last month or whatnot, he hasn't shot it so great. And he's owned that struggle. He's talked about that. He's embraced that. He hasn't hid from it. And so we've all come around him and continue to just tell him, my goodness, you're the best shooter in the gym anywhere we go. And so, he's believed that, and it pops off today like that.
We're going to go to the left side of the room to Dan on the front row.
This is for all three of you. As you walk up that ladder to cut down a piece of the net, what's the first thing that went through each of your minds as you were going up there?
Hope it don't fall. True. I had our strength coach hold the ladder. You guys got a better answer than that.
Keve, can you start us off, and then we'll go to Storm.
First thing that went through my mind, champs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, we talked about it as a team, that now it's forever. Like, it's etched, it's ingrained, that we're forever champions. And that's just something to be proud of, and it's really special. No one will ever be able to take that away. So I think that was one of the first things that popped in my head.
Storm, do you also want to comment on that? Or excuse me, Keve, would you also like to comment on that?
He's a man of few words. He just said to me, This is Aluma. He just got my attention. He said, with a wink, 7 assists. This guy didn't have 7 assists his first 2 years as a college player. Not truthfully.
I felt like Justin.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the right side of the room here.
Hey, Coach, when Mark Williams got in foul trouble in that second half, it seemed like you guys were able to get pretty much whatever you wanted offensively. How were you guys able to exploit that when Duke had to go smaller?
We're going to roll the dice a little bit. We thought our small lineup last night was really effective against North Carolina. We thought it with Mark and Theo off the floor. So with Paolo at the 5, AJ at the 4, maybe we could get away. Welcome. Did you get lost?
What's up, Coach?
Maybe we could get away with our 4-guard lineup with Keve or Justin. Again, as I said last night, another mover, another ball handler, passer, catch and shoot guy. Wasn't as effective for us tonight, but I thought it does allow us to get him off the floor a little bit more, and Justin off the floor a little bit more. Had his 3rd foul at about the 13-minute mark maybe, and I think I was able to get him to 9 or something like that. Those numbers might be a little off, but.
Let's go to David Till in the middle of the room.
Mike, Hunter's not quite as big as Fletcher McGee, but are there similarities? And did you have Fletcher McGee flashbacks at any moment tonight?
Almost didn't get him because of Fletcher McGee. Fletcher's from Orlando. Hunter's from Orlando. And he said to me during the recruiting process, I thought I was going to lose him. He said, Coach, I don't think I can be Fletcher McGee. And I said, hey, buddy, I don't need you to be Fletcher McGee. I need you to be Hunter Cattoor. Be that guy. So I just kind of wiped that out. Those were 4 remarkable years with an unbelievable player and an unbelievable young man and family. And we're 3 years into, a heck of a career and a lot of great fun with him and his family. So you just keep on rolling. I'd like to have a couple more of them. I can tell you that, Dave.
We'll go to Mark Berman on the front row to the right.
Hunter, congratulations. Thanks for
you.
being here. 3 years ago today, Mike, you were still at Wofford. Keve, you were still at Wofford. Storm, you were still at Wofford. And Hunter, you were planning to go to Wofford. What is it like 3 years later now to be the coach and to have played a key role on Virginia Tech and as an ACC championship team?
It's crazy. I mean, I went and watched them play the first round of the NCAA tournament when y'all played Seton Hall. So it was just, I was preparing to go to Wofford since September when I committed. And so just to have this moment right now, it speaks about Coach Young and how he can coach. And just these players, Keve and Storm, that could play at any level. Whenever people doubted them and said they couldn't do it throughout the whole season, we just proved it all tonight.
I said Kevin Giltner, and I knew he was going to be very good. I said to Kevin, I said, we got here 3 years ago, and we took Hunter. Did you ever think he'd be named the ACC Tournament Most Valuable Player? And we had a chuckle. Most deserving. What a great tournament he had.
Let's go to Mike Barber in the middle of the room.
Yeah, Hunter, along those same lines, you hadn't had big games yet in the tournament. Was there something tonight that got you going and kind of led to this?
I think just the rhythm of the game. You know, my teammates and Coach Young trusting in me, just the system that we play in day in. I was going through a rough shooting slump, and every day in practice, every time in the games, my teammates are telling me I'm the best shooter in the gym. I'm the best shooter in the gym. So just having that mindset and that trust from my players, it's welcoming to hear that.
We're going to go Gene on the front row.
At what point in the game did you realize, this was going to be a big night for you? You hit your first 4 threes in a row, I think, and you just took off from there. What was kind of the spark for you?
Honestly, it was kind of a blur going through it. Like Coach Young talked to us before in the locker room, just go out there and have fun. And so I was kind of doing that. He mentioned out there playing on a playground, so I just felt like I was in my front yard shooting on the front goal. I dreamed of moments like this, and it happened. So I'm grateful.
We're going to go to the back right of the room.
Hunter, what does it mean to you to win the ACC championship and to do it against the Duke team in Coach K's last season?
It means a lot just for the history of Virginia Tech. Coach Young, like I said, mentioned before, we're not doing it just for our team here in that locker room. We were doing it for all the players before and everyone that came through Virginia Tech before. So it's a history thing for the Virginia Tech school and the program, and it means a lot to be the first ones.
We're going to go to the left side of the room on the front row.
2 questions. First one's for Hunter. Hunter, I saw you shove that confetti in your shoe when you came up. What are you going to do with it when you get back in Blacksburg?
I have no idea, but I just wanted to keep some, put it in a scrapbook or something.
Gotcha. Coach, regarding Wednesday night, you called that win luckier than hell. What do you call this one?
Gratifying. To get here with a group of people that I love, staff, our administration, Stephanie Boleyn, our chief of staff, Bruce Garnes, our equipment manager, David Jack, gratifying. And a lot of people carrying a lot of water every day to help these guys. And special night, really cool night.
We're going to go to the right side of the room, third row.
Mike, you talked about what winning the ACC championship meant for the community and the fan base. What does it mean for the program?
Pretty big, man. Pretty big, man. Yeah.
You got to put it in a box.
I referenced it last night. We have a box, and we put all these cool things. I'll process, and at the end of the season, we'll pull it all out, and we'll savor, and we'll congratulate, and we'll pat one another on the back. It's significant. But we're going to play in the NCAA tournament next week. We did it last year. We didn't play poorly. We didn't play well enough to beat Florida in overtime. We're going to put a lot of time and effort into our next opponent, and there'll come a time we'll look back on it. This is very significant for our program, for our coaching staff, and a lot of fun.
We're going to go to the front row on the right side.
Yeah, Storm. I don't think any of you guys know this, but Keve had a career-high 7 assists tonight. He out-assisted you.
I know. Yeah.
You guys are such close friends, but when he's passing like the way he did tonight, how gratifying is this offense? How beautiful is it?
Well, I think to start, I think he missed one of my passes on purpose just so he could have that. But no, I mean, oh my goodness, to have a playmaker so versatile who can pass like that. Him and Justin. It's really lethal. Makes it hard for other teams to guard, and it's just fun to play with. At any moment I can expect to zip out for a catch and shoot or for him to go score it, and so he just makes it tough for other teams, and it's just fun to play with.
We're gonna go to Brendan on the right side of the room.
For all three players, at what point did it sink in that it was actually going to happen? It looked like when Justin had that slam on Paolo that sent him to the ground late, it looked like at that point you guys realized it. Is that the moment, or was it before that? And what are you feeling when it sort of does sink in?
Keve, can you start us off, and then we'll go Storm and then Hunter.
How much time was that?
Yeah, when was that? Do y'all know? 2 something
minutes, yeah. 2 or 3 minutes.
Is that after I had the and one layup?
Oh.
Yeah, and then there was the second. You had the second one thereafter. Justin's was first.
I think it was that one.
Yeah, good job, Kevin. Good layup.
I didn't even know if that went
good
in.
Good one.
I got about, did that go in?
Oh, yeah, that was.
But I think it was that moment, and I just started to smile. I didn't want to smile too much, but it was showing a little bit. So I think that one.
Yeah, I think it was definitely, that moment was huge. I think that kind of, was a cap, a seal to realize. There was a break right after that. I think the next dead ball, we went to the huddle. We were like, oh, we can taste it. We can taste it now. But I think even, it started, on the way here to Brooklyn. And even this morning, I think a lot of the guys just had no doubt that we were going to lose. And we completely realized we already had the game won. We just had to do our job.
Probably when the buzzer went off, I was still scared even when we were up. But you kind of, when that play happened, you kind of get a good feeling about it. But as soon as the confetti started coming down, all emotions just kind of left my body, and that's when it hit.
Let's go to Mike in the middle of the room.
For Mike and Storm, Coach Krzyzewski said he feels like you guys have become the team you thought you were going to be. Is that a good description, or have you had to change?
I think Coach is spot on. Again, it takes some time. Maybe a failure on my part. We were a lot more talented than we were playing, and that is and take that to heart. That's hard to stomach. Again, I've said it a couple times, Mike. I knew when it came together it was going to be a beautiful thing, and it came together. And I didn't think it'd culminate in this. Here we are. We're not giving it back, I can tell you that.
We're going to go to the middle of the room, second row.
Yeah, Keve, Paolo said yesterday that he wanted UNC in the tournament final. Was that bulletin board material for you guys?
I think Storm was the first one who saw it, and he sent it in the group chat. That was fuel for us. But, obviously we know that they just beat them at their place. But, yeah, it was fuel.
Let's go back to the middle of the room on the left side.
This is for Coach and Keve and Storm as well. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Coming from the Southern Conference, such a long and illustrious history of basketball in the Southern Conference.
Yes.
And even the past few years, whichever team made the NCAA tournament would cause problems, if not win, in the tournament. So how much is this a testament to the greatness of the Southern Conference as well, with you guys coming over from Wofford?
I think that's an astute point. It's a great league, great players league, really, really, really well coached league. You cut your teeth going night in, night out with Larry Hunter at Western Carolina, who's no longer with us, Bob McKillop at Davidson, John Kress at College of Charleston. You better figure some things out or you'll get your rear end whipped. It is a wonderful league. I have great admiration and respect for that league. Continues to do very well. I think they were 13th nationally in Kenny Palm or something, one of those things. And I think that's fair. It's a heck of a league, night in, night out. So, excellent point. Excellent point.
Time for a few more questions. We're going to go to David Till in the middle of the room.
Storm, conventional wisdom would say that the team playing its fourth game in as many days might have some fatigue in the final, but yet you guys seem to hit another gear in the second half while Duke could not. Where did that burst come from?
I mean, maybe the the nightmares and flashbacks of 5 a.m. conditioning with these guys and Coach Jackson maybe. But I think, like honestly, those mornings, pushing through with that mindset and that mentality kind of helped us. Whenever we felt some fatigue or whatnot, had to tell ourselves like we don't feel it, we have to push through. And maybe that was a little bit of the defensive sluggish start, but I think we turned it up a notch. Finally woke up and ended out right.
We're gonna go to Mark Berman on the front right.
Yeah, if I could get you other three to answer what Hunter answered before when I was asking. 3 years ago this month, you're champions at Wofford, champions in another conference, and now that your journey, that 3 years later now, you've proven yourself at a new school and are now champions at a new school in a new conference.
There are a lot of good players, These guys proved themselves in a really good league at the Southern Conference. We won a championship together as a sophomore. As luck would have it, I was able to bring Keve along right away. Hunter came along right away. Storm finished his other 2 years there. And all three have been really good players. They're old, they're strong, they're tough, they're really, really skilled. I know this, it has been so enjoyable, an honor to coach them, as it has Justin Munson, Naheem Aline, and Darius Maddox and others. But it's an honor to coach young people like these three guys.
Keve, can you also comment on that?
What was the question? Sorry, that was a great answer.
We won at Wofford, and now
You
we're
can
here.
take this one. Yep.
And what is that?
Different school, different colors. Yeah. What's it like for you, Keve?
I mean, it's pretty crazy. I don't think I expected to come here and maybe play this well and for us to win. But we worked hard, and I'm glad that things have turned out like this.
And our last question will come from Gene on the front row.
Yeah, Hunter, I know Mike has said you guys haven't talked about the NCAA tournament, but in his last few weeks, trying to get your resume boosted and quad one wins, what's the feeling now knowing that you're going to be in the big dance?
It's amazing. I mean, I feel like the past 2 months, our next game has felt like a must-win game. And so just having that mentality, going in and out, we know going into this tournament, we're going to have to win a couple. And then once we won our first one, we were just saying, why not win the whole thing? We won't even have to worry about waiting on Selection Sunday to see if our name's called. So now knowing that our name's definitely going to be called, it's a little bit more relaxing.
Perfect. Thanks so much, guys, and congratulations.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Safe travels.